Testament Sweep has less horizontal blowback now, meaning that you should be more likely at far ranges to combo into either version of a Grave Reaper. Up close, this is always possible, but at this tip of ranges, you can see they used to fall out. But now, with the reduced horizontal blowback, you should pretty much always get a Grave Reaper wherever you connect with a 2D, which is a nice overall buff for Testament. Next, we have to talk about Stain and Unholy Diver together, where Stain will no longer trigger on a hit against an OTG opponent because Unholy Diver also will trigger a hard knockdown, meaning that you're able to go into some new Okizeme options for Testament to explore, which we'll have examples of a little later in the video. It's also worth noting that Grave Reaper's hit state is a little different. Previously, the opponent was left a little bit vertical, but now they are launched flatly horizontal. Should be improving their horizontal hurt box, making it easier for you to confirm some combos. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new tech that people are developing with the changes to Unholy Diver's hard knockdown. You are seeing some very funny-looking routes like this, where people are looping Unholy Diver to get a couple of pops of Stain and then apply a hard knockdown to then get things like a safe jump against the DP, as well as jumps that will also blow up a throw, which is a pretty nice little bit of tech, but I am questionable about combo routing like this just because it's not really optimal. You're sacrificing a lot of damage here just to go for some simple Okizeme options. A little more fanciful, if you will, is going to be some of the vortexing that you can do with these changes now. So again, going in for some combos like this, you can get some behind the back hits and then go into some really crazy mix-up stuff using your fake teleports, choosing which side that you fall to, creating some very Millia-esque mix-ups from up high. So kind of fun, but again, the combo routing is something I'm a bit concerned about. They're not really like the optimal routing, which you do, but a little more applicable will be combo routings, someone like this, where this is all pretty classic Testament stuff, but then you're able to go into a cross-up low, and then by using an air backdash, you're able to get a same frame overhead to then mix high-low with a cross-up. Furthermore, you are then able to go with same side pressure as well. Going for a low, I would probably do 2K there instead of 2S, just for the faster low, making it less reactable for the opponent, and to make it a better mix-up with a tool like this. Again, going for a air backdash and catching them with JS. And of course, then you can even do things like this, where you fake cross-up, go back to the original side. So this looks very promising for Testament to have, actually. And lastly, of course, Calamity 1 now costs a full bar of tension gauge in order to PRC empty cancel it. I think over the last couple of patches, Testament has been on the up and up in terms of their performance just because of all the new tech that they are getting. And now we're finally getting a whole new means of approaching the character, which is using Unholy Diver to end your combos and creating some nasty mix-ups in the mid-screen. I think it'll take a little bit of time for experienced Testament players to optimize their combos, not only for damage, but also for what Okizeme options you get off of those combos by using Unholy Diver's new properties. The OTG change is kind of cute. Not sure how often that's really going to come up into play, because it seems like a knockdown into four-way mix-up might be a little bit stronger, depending on how effective that truly is at the end of the day, as well as just having some nice quality of life stuff where Sweep is a little more consistent as a poke tool, giving you those Grave Reaper rewards, as well as getting some easier time linking out of heavy Grave Reaper in some of those situations. And I think Testament overall really enjoys a lot of the overall changes of the patch themselves. Getting a little more damage on their initial hits by building up risk gauge will help out their poke game, like with getting more rewards from Arbiter Sign, for example. The fact that they can YRC guard crushes will be a very beneficial thing for them as well. I think they might miss out on being able to cancel their red Wild Assault on block into more normals to extend their offense a little bit more, but they also enjoy using that for confirms, so it's a very minor nerf, I would say, overall to Testament. Not as big of a change as it was to a character like maybe Soul Bad Guy or Kai Kisuke, for example. We'll see how Testament goes. I think they're a very promising character in this next patch. I think it kind of depends on what characters are the top tier characters going forward for them, but I'm really curious to see if anyone is going to make Testament stand out in this next patch.